on that healing journey from that, it was nice to find an opportunity where I could connect with people who had had loss and could do something with my art, my creativity that would bring meaning and healing to other people. And so it has been a really great project to work with. I hopefully will get to work with them again in the future, because more than just art as a job or as a passion, being able to do something for the community with your art, it really does feel like you get as much as you give. So I'm really grateful for you guys for this opportunity, and for the families who have shared their stories with us and trusted us and allowed us to make something beautiful and to be a part of their healing. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to just come out and display our skills and what we do for a living. Obviously, I'm not a starving artist. God has been very good to us for a long time. The phone rings constantly for us. They're bringing us jobs. Every once in a while, we get a phone call where we have the opportunity to give something back. And when the phone rang this time, we were honored to be brought into the personal lives of such tragedy. And I'm not sure what we can do as artists, but I hope it helps.
Okay, I think the best way to do this is, Erin, why don't you unveil yours? Erin was paired with Katie, and Katie is here today. You want to come on, Katie, or no? Come on up. So Katie, oh my gosh, look at the flowers. Katie's mother went missing. Katie's mother is Elizabeth Land, and she went missing, I think it was in 2009. And I saw on Facebook that Katie posted yesterday it was her mom's birthday. So, do you want to tell a little bit about it? Yeah, sure.
About it?
Yeah.
Sure, so listening.
So beautiful.
Hi. So the idea behind this piece, the title is "I'll Meet You at the Dawn," and I'm a landscape and floral artist, and so when Katie and I met, we collaborated on a vision for this. And so Katie's mom's middle name is Dawn, so she knew she wanted the idea of dawn in the piece, and I suggested some florals, and so we included a lily of the valley flower, which is the birth flower for the month of May, which is her mom's birthday. And then there are some tiny little blue monarch butterflies, which her mom has a monarch butterfly tattoo, and Katie as well. And each of these pieces has a symbol. So the butterflies symbolize hope, and the lily of the valley symbolizes resilience. And the dawn, it goes into the landscape where, I'll meet you at the dawn, meaning that wherever, God knows where her mom is, even if we don't. And so they will meet again here out into this space. So I wanted that feeling of vastness, so that when she looks at that she can just feel a little bit of that sense of eternity, that what we see and feel and experience right here and right now is, there's more than we can see right now. And so I base this piece on a scripture from the Bible, Psalm 65:8, which says, "Where morning dawns and evening fades, you call forth songs of joy." And so, Katie, I hope that this will bring you joy, and that in the midst of darkness, that you will find songs of joy to guide your heart and inspire others who might come to your home and see this, and it'll just bring you a little glimpse of hope. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for giving me the honor of working with you.
explain. So, do you want, no? Well, okay, so Marcia McQueen, unfortunately, had to leave today. She works for Crime Stoppers now because her husband was killed. Unfortunately, I can't remember what year it was, but it was a long time ago. Thank you, 2007. And Marcia and I become good friends, and she works for Crime Stoppers now as a community engagement representative, but she had a family emergency and she had to leave, but she did cross paths in the lobby or in the front here. You got to see this before she had to head off to this family emergency, so please keep her in your prayers. And this is, do you want to say anything about it? Or it's just a beautiful portrait of him. And Marcia has 2 daughters, and they're both basketball stars, and both got full ride scholarships to University of Detroit, Mercy, and they're both just doing wonderfully in school. And Marcia has done an amazing job raising her children with family support and the support of the community, unfortunately without her husband by her side. So this is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Johnny, I wish Linda was here. I thought she was going to be here. So Johnny was paired with Linda Smith. Her husband was shot and killed 2013? No? I can't remember the year. I'm sorry. A lot going on up here right now. And he was a Vietnam veteran, and on the east side of Flint, he's sleeping in his bed. He's 75 years old, and there was a drive-by shooting, and it took him from us, and Linda, and so Michael Smith is what did I say their name? I'm all over the place. Michael Smith died, and Michael and Linda knew each other since they were 8 years old, and it was just the love of her life. So Johnny, why don't you come up and talk about if you want to unveil it, and then talk about what you've got here. It's amazing. I haven't seen the finished product, but wow.
Spent a lot of time staring into Michael's eyes as I looked into the different photographs that I was given. There were several from different stages of his life, and I couldn't decide on which one to just focus on. So we made a collage that kind of represents his entire life, from his youth to his service to his older age. In the background, you'll see different silhouettes of actions in life that we all take for granted, but are now memories of Michael. So when you come up and take a look at it, look in the background and see the other things that are going on. I wish I had a chance to know Michael. Seems like a good man.
Earlier that Annette isn't here today. She's one of the artists, but she had, because of the tornadoes that came through a couple of days ago, she had some trees falling down in her yard, and her basement flooded, and all of her artwork in her basement has been destroyed, and she wasn't able to save the art piece that she had created for LaDonna Cummings. This is for her, and LaDonna's mother and daughter, her mother wasn't able to make it. I don't think I've seen her daughter yet today either, but I unfortunately had to give them the news today that we weren't able to have that piece, but she's going to hopefully give something to them in the near future. So the next artist isn't here with us today, but his name is David. And James is going to come up from Doxa Development and explain the next piece of art that we're going to unveil. And this next piece of art is for Nicholas Gim, and Nicholas's parents are here today, Dan and Joanne. Somewhere. Oh, there you are. So Nicholas was killed in a hit and run 2 years ago in April, and we've gotten really close, and they have done everything to try and get this solved. They're working with the Genesee County Sheriff's Office on the case, and this was just another way not only to try to get the word out, to make people aware of what's going on and to solve the case. And James is going to read what David's interpretation after, so David is Spanish speaking, so there was a lot of, James interpreting all of this from David's artwork. He's an amazing artist and he's very creative, and it's different than all of these, and they're all amazing in their own right. And so James is going to talk about what David had to say about the art piece, right?
Yes, David wanted to be here so bad. David Brett, his schedule wouldn't allow for it. So you really can't fully understand or appreciate David's art without knowing his personal history as a Venezuelan immigrant who fled his country, came here to call this country his own because of the violence and the danger that he experienced in his own neighborhood and in his own home. Venezuelans are vibrant and creative people. They celebrate their sacred moments through clashes of color and emotion. They are very famous for their abstract art. And David is an abstract artist. A hallmark of his work are lingering shadows and the dark brushstrokes that are overcome by the presence of light and color. At first glance, this piece that he's created for Nicholas's family, it might invoke some confusion, maybe even a little bit of disappointment if we're expecting something a little different. This is what he told me what it represents. It represents hope. Nicholas's shirt, it was a t-shirt of his, was lovingly provided for this project, and it was incorporated into the painting here. It's covered, it's obscured by the paint and the art medium. It isn't even recognizable for what it used to be. But it remains. Unseen, just below the surface for those who know where to look. So as time moves forward and healing does its patient work, there's this part of Nicholas that remains ever present, complete with the scents and the stains and the memories of who he was and who he is. His name is smudged, but it's visible, never fully faded from our thoughts and our memories, but bold and unflinching, indelibly painted in red, a word we may not be ready to say yet, a word we might not be ready to hold in our hearts yet. But when hope has completed its healing work on our souls, it'll be there, waiting. The bold red letters, forgiveness. For those whose hope rests in our Savior's innocent blood, what other color could it be? So it's David's hope that this painting will serve to remind us that Nicholas's spirit, like the sky above us, lingers no matter where we are.
Well, thank you again for everyone who participated in this. It's just been absolutely a joy and wonderful and a journey of healing and remembrance, so we really appreciate it. Thank you.